So the Medicare open enrollment begins very soon, and you're probably wondering, what do I need to do once Medicare enrollment comes? This is especially true if you're already on Medicare and you have a Medicare Advantage plan or a Part D prescription drug plan. So I'm going to talk about that in today's video. I'm going to cover quite a bit of material, so hopefully you can stay tuned all the way to the end. I don't want to ramble on too long, so we'll just see how it goes. My name is Jamie from meetjamie.com. I'm an independent insurance broker. I help people all over the country understand the Medicare program and find the coverage that fits their needs. I've had several calls today already talking about the Medicare open enrollment, and there's some things that I want to share with you in today's video that are very important for you to consider this open enrollment. So let's dive into the notes, shall we? The first and most important thing I want to talk about is what's called the Medicare Annual Notice of Change. This comes to you from your existing Medicare Advantage company. So if you have a Medicare Advantage plan, you probably have a little ID card in your wallet. That company has to send you every year a notice of change for the coming year, because remember, Medicare Advantage plans are good from January 1st through December 31st typically. And those benefits change every year. And so the insurance carrier is required to notify you of change that will happen to your coverage in the following year. So you want to make sure that you can track that down, find it, and review it. So what do you want to review within that notice? Well, that's what I'm going to talk about next. So in that notice of change, what you're going to find is what new benefits have been added to your plan. Sometimes there are better benefits added to your plan, so things that you didn't have in the previous year. Another thing are there any changes that affect the services you use? So you want to look into that, and what are things that you typically have services done for medically? Are there any changes to that? Have there been any changes in your health that may affect what services you may need or how often you need them? I'll give you a perfect example. Let's say that when you have the current Medicare Advantage plan that you have, you're in pretty good health and you didn't really use your coverage that much. But maybe recently you've started to have to go to the doctor for some tests or some other things that you didn't have in the previous year. You're going to want to look and see, how much is this going to cost me in 2024? So if your health has changed, you want to ask the question, will the current plan that you have, will those benefits cover the additional care you might need in the coming year? And so you want to do just a kind of a quick look back over the year and say, what services that I have done this past year? Will I need more of those services in the coming year? And if I will, how is the plan that I have going to cover that? Next, you want to look for any provider changes, network changes. So what providers have been added to or removed from the plan network? A lot of people don't know this, but providers like doctors, clinics, hospitals, and insurance companies, they don't always agree. And when they don't agree, sometimes the provider says we're no longer going to accept that particular plan. And so you want to look and see, is there a provider that you're used to going to that maybe is not going to be in network? Which just leads to a general question: are your current doctors going to continue to be in network for the coming year? Next, what about hospitals or other providers or specialists that you may need? Again, your health is always changing, it's always evolving. So is there potentially a new specialist that you're going to have to go to next year? Is there a different clinic that maybe you're going to have to go to? This is why we want to see Medicare beneficiaries review this notice of change, because this is your opportunity during the open enrollment to review that and make any changes that you need. Finally, if your provider or you have a provider that's not in network, are you willing to switch to a different provider, or do you need to get a different plan? Some people are content. They have a plan and they say, well, I'm just going to go where I can go with the plan that I have. Some people have a doctor they really like, specialist they really like. They want to keep going to that doctor. They want to keep going to that specialist. So you might have to switch up your coverage, find a different plan. So these are some of the questions that you can be asking during this open enrollment. Next, let's talk about your drug list. Did your drugs change this year? Are you taking different drugs this year than you were last year? And is it possible that you may be taking different drugs in the following year than you currently are? So you want to check, are the drugs that you currently take listed on the plan's current formulary? Um, have any of your medications been assigned to a different tier on the formulary? This may affect the cost. So sometimes a drug you're taking, right, um, fell into a certain part on the formulary plan the previous year. Next year it's going to look different. Next year it might not be covered. I've had that happen. You're going to want to find out, is your pharmacy in the plan's network? Is it a preferred pharmacy that offers the plan's best pricing? Again, as much as it's tempting to just say, oh, I'll just keep the plan I have, it's been working for me, there are all these factors happening behind the scenes with your health insurance, with your health, with the providers that you go to. This is why you want to be up to speed on a lot of this stuff. If you currently have a plan and you worked with an agent to get that coverage, that agent is your best resource for reviewing all of this coverage. Next, are there cost changes? Some people, maybe they paid $30 a month for their plan, and the notice of change says, hey, you're going to be in a $60 plan or whatever. I'm just giving general examples here. But you want to find out, is the plan premium going up, going down, or staying the same? That's something that you want to look to. Are any other costs changing? You want to look at deductibles, co-payments, co-insurance. Sometimes a service is provided one year at a percentage of co-insurance, and then sometimes it's a co-payment. You want to look into that. If you have a Medicare Advantage plan, what is your maximum out-of-pocket limit for 2024? Did that change? You want to look into that. And overall, you want to ask yourself the question, how will cost changes to my coverage in the coming year affect my total out-of-pocket spending for the services and prescription drugs that I need? So it really is a form of budgeting for the coming year that you want to do. So sometimes there's not many changes, and you look through and you say, hey, I didn't go to the doctor much this year. I don't take any new prescription drugs, and you can look at it and say, great, this coverage will work for the next year. Sometimes there's been some big changes and you need to look at some different options. So these are some of the questions that you want to consider. These are some of the things that you want to consider during the open enrollment. And again, this runs from October 15th through December 7th. October 15th through December 7th. And as you can imagine, a lot of people kind of procrastinate and wait. Don't do that. My advice to you is get it over early. Get a review done with your agent. Get a review of your annual notice of change. Decide if that plan is going to work for you. If it does, great. Then you can move on. You don't have to think about it. But if you know, hey, there's some things I'm probably going to have to change this year, then you probably want to get with your agent, get with an agent, review your Medicare coverage for the coming year. Make sure that it still fits your needs. Hey, appreciate you watching to the end. Again, if you like videos like this, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and if you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.